So you have to download the CrowPath. This is related to the Chrome. Just go to Google and search CrowPath, enter. As soon as you see this one, click on this. So as soon as I click on that, it is saying it's already installed in my Chrome. If you want to remove, you can remove. If you don't see this option, that means it will give you an option to install. You can do it now, right away. So once you install the CrowPath, when you do inspect something, right click here and go to inspect. See, you should see the CrowPath here. So the advantage of CrowPath is this is a tool. It will show you the XPaths of this text box. See, right now it is showing 4 paths. It is showing. Okay, so one is relative XPath, CSS selector, absolute XPath, and tag name. As soon as we see these options, right, we can easily identify which one to pick. So in this whole thing, it is showing input ID equal to search. If you want to go for XPath, you can copy, you can select this and copy this one and use this XPath in your code. So first of all, what is an XPath? In the HTML page, everything is an element. See, this is an element, this is an element, this is a text box, this is a link, and even I'm seeing a link here. As soon as I click on this, there is a link, and that's a anchor tag link. And I see a button, this is also an element. And I see a text box here, this is an element, web element, this is a web element, this is also a web element, this is also a web element, but the type is different. Web element type is text box, checkbox, button, link, button. So every application, every web application loads with the HTML content. So when you open, when you go to inspect, right click on this page, go to click on inspect, you will see the HTML code. So this is the HTML code of the target.com. This application may be developed using .NET or Angular. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that they have developed HTML. No, they would have developed this target in Angular, but that Angular JS framework will convert everything into HTML, and that will be loaded on the browser. Browser should know only HTML. So when you click on, when you go to any website in the world, do the right click, inspect, you will see the HTML code. See, this it starts with HTML. That means that is a HTML code. Browser knows only HTML. So in the browser, when the page is loaded, when you look at the code, source code, you will see all these options. You see all the elements. So there is a head tag, there's HTML tag, there's a body tag, there's a script. If you go inside, there are a lot of spans, a lot of divs and iframes. So to capture the elements, Selenium need some identifications, some unique identifications. That means, suppose when I go to target.com, Selenium needs some unique identification to capture the web element. How can we give the unique identification? Every element should have some path. When I go to CrowPath, it is showing 4 paths to achieve this, to capture this element, to reach to this element. We have 4 kind of paths, and one is relative XPath, and second one is CSS selector, third one is absolute XPath, and fourth is some tag name. And what we have to do is we have to think and decide which one to select here. Right now it is showing XPath. It's not, see, if you look at this, there is no ID at all. If there is an ID, then this would have shown the ID. Getting the XPath by ID is always good, because there will be only one ID in the page. If there are multiple IDs, if there are duplicate IDs, that's another issue. But definitely IDs will be unique. When you create any element in the HTML, like input box, text box, checkbox, radio, drop down, the developer will put something like ID equal to text box, ID equal to username. Let's go to sign in. I'll show you. See, when I go to sign in, we have a text box, two text box, right? When I click on inspect, see, it is saying this input text box has ID, and ID is username. If you look at this, if you look at this code, see input, if you look at this ID equal to username, so this is easy for us to capture this. Just use input at the rate ID equal to username. You don't see two things. Either from ChroPath you can directly copy this, click on this and copy this, or right click here, copy XPath. When you right click and copy XPath, when you go to your code, see this is the XPath I just copied from the browser. It is saying /* ID equal to username. Even the browser also saying this is the XPath. Even when you go here, it is showing copy full XPath, copy XPath, copy styles, copy JS path, copy selector, copy outer HTML. But always first go for XPath. So capturing the element using XPath is a good strategy. Now I can find out the XPath using the browser option or using the ChroPath. Both are same. All they're saying is if there is a ID, ChroPath will show use the ID. Even this guy's browser is also showing use the ID tag. But sometimes what happen is developers will forget to put the ID. For example, this one, when we go to inspect, this is also input type, right? This is also text box, but I don't see any ID at all here. Oh, we have ID here. Oh, we have ID here. Yes, okay. Sometimes if they don't put ID, then our job will be tough. When I work with the teams, I will ask the development team to add IDs to the components when they are working on UI pages. That makes my job easy. For some reason, if they can't add the IDs, we have to go for the alternatives. What are the alternatives we have here to find the XPath? Going with ID is straightforward. Just copy this, go to your script and find this element and just click it. But what happens when we don't have the ID? We have to go for alternatives. Alternatives means what? When they don't have, when the component doesn't have the ID, then check whether this component has any CSS styles. Let me see what are the CSS styles they have. Yeah, so this is suggesting if you don't have any good path here, we can use this one. hash search. We can copy this. Instead of XPath, we can use the CSS selector. I'll show you how to do that later. Okay. But what I'm saying is, get the component with ID first. For example, let's see what is this tag. Okay. See, this is the button, right? And this button is what? I think this button. So there is a button here. As soon as when you search the toys, we have to click this. But that button doesn't have the ID. See, this button doesn't have the ID. If you look at here, since this button doesn't have the ID, now see what is the X path this is suggesting, crow path suggesting. They're saying since it doesn't have the ID, then they're finding out with alternative. They're saying this button is inside a body, inside a div, inside another div, inside div of 3, inside div of 2, navigation of 1, div of 1, button of 1. Since we have two buttons, but started with button 0 is the, and this is the second button. If you look at this, this is a very big X path. There is a problem when we use this X path. What is the problem? The problem is we are finding this button using some divs. The problem is if the developer added any div here, we can find this. If developer remove this div in the code, he will go inside the code. When they do code review, when they're adding enhancements, they'll add more divs, right, under the body, under the div. If they add any div, if they remove any div, that we cannot capture this. If we have the ID, we can capture with ID always. Even if there are a lot of changes in the UI page, it won't impact. Since this component doesn't have ID, then we have to get it in an alternative way. The alternative is we got a very big X path. If we don't want this, and it is suggesting one more absolute X path, that means it is taking the whole path. Okay, this button is inside this div, and this div is inside nav1, div2, div3, div1, div1 body HTML. Again, this is a problem, right? If someone adds a div or remove the div, we can get this button. When we can get this button, we can click. We can't identify and we can't click. So that problem will always be there when you write your Selenium code. If the application has very good IDs for all the elements, then your job is really easy. If they don't have it, you have to search for alternatives. What I can say is getting the IDs is the toughest job. You have to think, you cannot simply copy paste, right? You have to see, okay, what is the best ID I can take out of these three options. Or you can go here and you can see copy X path, and you can also see this option. What is this one suggesting? See, if you look at this, this is suggesting a better than crow path, right? I'll go with this one. Instead of going div 1, div 2, nav 1, div 2, body, HTML, div, I'll just go for this one. Instead of going for this, I'll go for this one. Why? Because this is the shortest X path. Chances are very less to fail while capturing, because this has only 1-2 divs. We're going in second div and getting the button. But if we go with this alternative, lot of divs here. Div 3 under div 2, under nav 1, under div 1, under button. I'll go with this one. So you have to decide which X path you have to go with. Nobody will help you. You have to think on your own, because every application is different. You have to get a best X path. If there is an ID, that is the best X path. If you don't have ID, try for alternative. Sometimes when I was doing my automation, To capture few elements, I have spent 5 to 6 hours also to get a best XPath. Sometimes this XPath won't work. I have to try this option, I have to try this option, I have to try the CSS selector. So I spent a lot of time. I tried a lot of combinations and variations. Then I'll decide with one XPath. So challenging task in writing the test automation is capturing the best XPath. If you have the best XPath, your job will be easy. As soon as you get the application, just open the application, see if you have the IDs or not. If you see IDs for buttons, if you see IDs for text boxes, if you see IDs for checkbox, it is very easy to capture the XPath. CrowPath will help you to get the XPaths more quickly. Or you have to try different options. So this is the whole story of capturing the XPath. Any questions here? No questions? Okay.
How
Yeah,
do you capture the images and all?
same thing. Just
Oh,
right click
okay.
and capture. That's what I'm saying, right? Okay, let's see
Mhm.
if there is an image. Okay, this is the image, right? See, image means there should be a hyperlink, right, on the image.
Mhm.
Okay, let's see this. Inspect. Go to grow path and first try. See, this grow path is showing very big one. Sometimes you will see very bigger XPath. It has at least 5 to 6 lines of XPath. So this is the XPath for this. I'll go for this one, or I'll give a try with this one. Yeah, I'll go for this one. If this doesn't work, then go for crow path. Sometimes it doesn't mean that this will work all the time. You have to check. You have see if there is no ID, that's a challenging for you. First of all, as soon as you don't see ID, then you have to get ready for some struggle. Then capture all the XPath and put it in your Java code and keep trying it. Okay, try with this one, try with this one, try with this one. If this works, that's fine. But go for shorter one. Okay. Okay.
And labels on the web page.
Everything is element. Everything is element in the web page. Label or button or whatever.
Mhm. So when to use a CSS selector?
When you don't have the ID, and this is showing a very bigger path and this is showing a better CSS better path, then go for this one. I'll show you that. Okay. But what I'm
Okay.
saying is, suppose if relative XPath is very bigger and CSS selector is little shorter, then go for CSS selector. The problem with the CSS selector is CSS selectors means cascading style sheets, right? When there
Mhm.
is no ID, every element should have some style sheet applied. Let me show you that. When I go to this div, yeah, if you look at this, this is the style sheet class. Class equal to row. Lot of style sheets they have used. You can capture this element using this style sheet, but this is not best way of doing it. This is not a good way, because if you use these class names, everything is a class in CSS. Like row hyphen uds 8 zea hyphen 0 is a class. What happens if they change the class name in the CSS? You won't get that. And the same class name will be using in a lot of elements. So it is tough to get the element using CSS selector. In my experience, when I captured 1000 web elements, I would have used 950 times XPath and 50 times CSS selectors. Maybe 1 or 2%, not more than that. So don't go for CSS selector. When you see a very bad XPath, when you see a very bigger XPath, when you see a very shorter CSS selector, go for CSS selector.
But ideally, first priority is for IDs. If IDs are not there, only we should go for XPath.
If there is a ID, CrowPath itself will show you. The shorter one is ID.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I showed you, right? In the target, go to sign in, do sign in. See this. See this input. See, this is straightforward, right? 100% this won't fail because there is only one text box input and they're saying ID username. There is a problem when by mistake if they put the same ID to password. Then what you have to do? It happens a lot of times. When they copy paste, right, the code, they don't change the IDs. Then in that case, you cannot capture this element using XPath IDs. Then you have go for alternatives, something like this one, CSS selector. See, the CSS selector saying just use password, hash password. Look at here, hash username. I'll go with this CSS selector in that case. Got it? Even if you see hash username here and hash username here, they forgot the completely, they copied and pasted the same code and they just changed the button name, then that's the problem. Then I'll go for this one. I have seen those cases. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now we are moving on